Tēnā koe, Mr. Chair. Tēnā tātou katoa i tēnei rā o tira i tēnei wiki, te wiki o te reo Māori. Hei tīmatanga kōrero māku, me whai haere au i te kōrero a te honore Phil Goff. Ko te ngākau o tira, ngā whakaro te Pāti Māori e meana, me tautoko i tēnei hunga i haere ki te pakanga, ki te tohe, mo te pāinga o tēnei whenua. Ko arāno nā tohu kei ngā pakitara o tēnei whare pāremata, ko etahi kua haere ki te muro o te ahi, ko etahi i hoki mai, ko etahi kāre hoki mai. Ko te honga i hoki mai, ko etahi i hoki māwiwi mai, anoira me tautoko kātika. Engari i roto i tēnei whare, arāno nā uauatanga i etahi wā, mo te āhuatanga o tēnei mea o te pōti. Nō reira, ko riro māku te wāhanga o te Pāti Māori e whakamāra māke i tēnei pō. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to take a couple of calls, I hope, at your behest, to be able to explain the Māori Party position with respect to this bill. As I said in Māori, there is no doubt in our minds that it is appropriate to support those who put their lives on the line for our country and do the best that we can. In our caucus, we had some vigorous debate with respect to the Honourable Phil Goff's amendment and SOP. It was very vigorous because, of course, we're talking about people's lives, servicemen's lives, and indeed, I suppose, what happens to them after they pass away as well. And in that regard, we were in a position to be able to support this bill, to be able to allow it, such that veterans could, in fact, gain, while we are in Parliament, who knows what happens after the end of this election. We were of the view that it was far better to make some gains now than not to allow this bill to move through the various passages, and chose accordingly to enter in negotiations with the government and indeed the Minister over points that we believed would in fact advance the bill on its original form to something that we believed would in fact have far bigger coverage. So I want to, in the time that I've got, Mr. Chair, outline some of those gains. And about 8 of them or so that I want to put on the record of this House. Firstly, the removal of the 52% disability criteria, used to be 70%, means that, from our perspective, a greater number of veterans will receive the pension. From our perspective, currently around 6,800 vets receive it. And we say that this will increase, according to the information that we have, by about 16,700 to 25,300 veterans. Now, that's 6,000 now going to 25,000. We suggest that that is a major and significant gain, a far wider spread to bring in a far greater catch of those who have put their lives on the line. That's the first point. The second point is that a greater number of veterans will have formal recognition that they are war veterans receiving a war veterans pension. This has been a point of contention for them, and under the amendments, at least the negotiations that we had, they will have that recognition. The third point is that the veterans' pension is paid at the same rate as superannuation and is increased annually in line with this. And veterans will automatically get the community services card, which is currently income tested. So income testing will no longer be applied. So therefore, again, a major benefit from our perspective. The fourth point, Mr. Chair, is that veterans also have protection for long-term hospital stays after 13 weeks. Currently, the pension is reduced to $40 after 13 weeks in hospital. Fifthly, we're also asking for a review, and this is, I think, comes to the heart of Mr. Goff's discussion. We're asking for a review of the Act and associated levels of support to be written into the bill, and this has been agreed to. And the period of time we're talking about is to allow it to run for 2 years and then have a review to assess the points that the Honourable Phil Goff has made and indeed how the bill is going. As a sixth point, Veterans Affairs New Zealand are proposing to rewrite their standard operation procedures to direct case managers to proactively advise families of recently deceased veterans of existence, advice and eligibility requirements. Now, and assistance to apply for the MSD funeral grant, which is up to about $2,000. So while this is currently available, the uptake by veterans, from our understanding, has been relatively minimal. Personally, I think that this should be a standard operating practice anyway, but here we are. Mr. Chair?
To a row level.
Thank you, sir. So these changes will come into effect as the 1st of October 2014, obviously not far away, and therefore veterans will be able to take up the benefits of the changes and amendments in the bill. We're seeking, on top of that, the formal recognition for the Malaya and Afghan Syrian veterans and their service, and we'll be progressing this through the Honourable Jonathan Coleman's office. Mr. Chair, just to sort of wrap up, currently veterans will be eligible for a lump sum payment on death, although the 52% impairment criterion is applied. However, under the review, we will aim to have this removed. If the Māori Party did not support this bill, and here's the point, if we didn't support this bill, so we would suggest that over 1,600 veterans would miss out on the ability to receive a pension and the other gains that we have previously mentioned. So we just simply saw this as an opportunity that could not be missed out. We did, in fact, have at the very heart of our submissions and our thoughts the many veterans that are hanging out on taking up the opportunities that come from this bill, and indeed to ensure that we captured as many as possible people into the net to allow them to access the benefits that do come from this bill. And under those circumstances, while this is the parts that you've already outlined, and my discussion has been sort of to cover a fair part of the bill, these are the reasons that we as a Māori Party are supportive of the bill and are pleased with the amendments that we have been able to negotiate with the Minister, such that it will in fact go exactly where we want. Sure, there's always more to be done. There's always more to be done, there's always more that can be offered up, but the 2-year review period would allow that to be assessed at the time. In the meantime, as of the 1st of October, as I said, the benefits will be able to roll out to those veterans that will be hanging out on this sort of these amendments. Kanuite mihi.
Jane Logie.
Mr. Chair, and thank you for the call on this in the committee stages of the veteran support.